1933, at the League of Nations. Hitler leaves the League of Nations.
Many felt that the Treaty of Versailles was unfair to Germany.
Britain helps Germany break the Treaty of Versailles by signing an agreement to allow Germany a navy one-third the size of Britain's, 1935.
Little did Britain and France know that Hitler was rearming secretly.
1935, Hitler increases the size of the German army to 500,000 members. Britain, France and Italy do nothing. 1936, German troops reoccupy the Rhineland. They are given orders to retreat if France offers any resistance. France does nothing.
I am Austria!
Hitler tries to take power in Austria. Austrian Nazis murdered the Chancellor. After the German invasion, 99% of Austrians voted Ja. Britain and France do nothing.
On the 29th of September 1938, the Munich Agreement was signed. Here Britain and France came to the agreement to hand the Sudetenland over to Hitler. The Czechs weren't even consulted.
Time to register. Britain? Present. Italy?
Si.
France? Si. Germany?
Ja.
Czechoslovakia? Doesn't matter. Despite what he said to Chamberlain, Hitler did have designs on Czechoslovakia. Unlike Austria, Czechoslovakia would be no walkover for Hitler.
Czechoslovakia was weakened. Poland and Hungary took the other land.
Appeasement scared the USSR. With hindsight, you can see how the policy alarmed the USSR. Hitler made no secret of his plans to expand eastward. Appeasement sent the message to the Soviet Union that Britain and France would not stand in Hitler's way.
Meanwhile, Chamberlain tried his best to reassure his wary country.
How horrible, fantastic, incredible it is that we should be digging trenches and trying on gas masks here because of a quarrel in a faraway country between people of whom we know nothing. However much we may sympathise with the small nation confronted by a big and powerful neighbour, we cannot in all circumstances undertake to involve the whole British Empire in war simply on her account. If we have to fight, it must be on larger issues than that. I am myself a man of peace to the depths of my soul. War is a fearful thing, and we must be very clear before we embark on it, that it is really the great issues that are at stake.
The Pact of Steel. Hitler and Mussolini make an alliance of support in the event of a war.
Hitler and Stalin made a pact, and together they invaded Poland and divided it between them.
Appeasement encouraged Hitler to be aggressive. With hindsight, you can see that each gamble he got away with encouraged him to take a bigger risk.
Appeasement was bad, because if Britain and France had squared up to Hitler in the first place, then he would have been forced to stop.
Many people have the attitude of, at least Hitler was standing up to communism. At the time, Hitler was not the only concern of the British and its allies. He was not even their main worry. They were more concerned about the spread of communism, and particularly about the dangers to world peace posed by Stalin, the new leader of the USSR. Many saw Hitler as the buffer to the threat of communism. Britain was not ready for a war. The British government believed that the armed forces were not ready for a war against Hitler. The attitude of Britain's empire, it was not at all certain that British Empire and Commonwealth states would support a war against Germany. Britain had their own economic problems which they felt were a higher priority. Britain and France were still suffering from the effects of the Depression. They had large debts and huge unemployment.
Conclusion! Appeasement put too much trust in Hitler's promises. With hindsight, you can look back and you can see how Hitler often went back on his promises, and appeasement was based on the mistaken idea that Hitler was actually trustworthy. Not only that, but it also allowed Germany to grow too strong, and it's becoming much more harder for Britain and France to keep up with him. However, at the time, it seemed the right policy. Chamberlain's defenders say that it was only the right policy available to him, so that was his only choice. It says that to face Hitler, Chamberlain had to be prepared to take Britain into a war. All the evidence available to Chamberlain told him that Britain was not ready. Public opinion was against it. His own civil service advisors had told him this. Important countries in the Empire were against it. The USA was against it. And most importantly, Britain's forces were not ready. They were badly equipped and had fallen